A 3-month investigation reveals high levels of fecal matter in a popular Louisville waterway. Only on WDRB, my investigation reveals the water is not just dirty, it could be dangerous. The parklands of Floyds Fork is a 4,000-acre recreational oasis in East Louisville. The donor-supported public park system is one of the largest metropolitan parks in the nation.
Even though it's set in an urban park, it really feels like you're a part of nature and you can kind of get away from it all.
You'll find biking and hiking trails, kayaking and fishing. Floyds Fork Creek is a magnet for summer visitors.
We play in the splash park, let them get in the creek. We have a good time. We love this park.
The picturesque creek meanders close to 20 miles through the parklands. It looks inviting, but some are alarmed by what's in the water. We took water samples in May, June, and July in various parks in the parklands. We wanted to reveal the levels of fecal coliform in the popular creek. Fecal coliform is bacteria found in human and animal feces and can lead to ear and skin infections and gastrointestinal illnesses. The state requires water to be tested 5 times a month. If the geometric average of fecal coliform is above 200, swimming is not recommended and is considered hazardous to your health. We tested once each month, but found alarming fecal coliform levels in some of our tests. At Beckley Creek Park, the levels were acceptable in May and June, but high in July. Downstream at Pope Lick Park, May's numbers were more than double the acceptable limit. June tested low, and look at July's numbers, triple the limit. Here's how the newly opened paddling access at the Strand fared. May's numbers were above the limit. The numbers dropped in June, then tested extremely high in July, almost triple the acceptable limit. Turkey Run Park tested low in May and June. The numbers then spiked in July to double the limit. Our final stop was Broad Run Park, the last takeout spot for paddlers. It tested high each month. May's numbers were high, June's numbers were just above the limit, and July's sample produced the highest number of our testing. We took our water samples here to Asbury Water Technology in Clarksville, Indiana, where chemist Bob Fox has been sampling water for 50 years.
We had some above, we've had some below. So you just cannot conclude that the whole area is grossly contaminated.
As a professional that's been testing water for 50 years, would you allow your children to swim in the water based upon the test results that we found?
No, I would not.
However, our results did show the levels of fecal coliform are within the acceptable range for people to safely kayak, fish, and canoe.
Swing wide.
To find out more about what causes increased levels, we turn to Karen Schaefer and Russell Barnett.
Wastewater treatment plants, septic tanks. It could be from almost any kind of animal that you can think of, warm-blooded, cold-blooded.
Barnett's the director of the Kentucky Institute for the Environment and Sustainable Development. Schaefer's a retired environmental consultant.
The land is what you need to look at, and it's essentially a mirror of what the water quality is going to be.
Barnett and Schaefer are part of the volunteer group Salt River Watershed Watch. The group has been monitoring the creek for more than 15 years. Research shows bacteria levels have increased over the years because more homes are being built along the creek.
Conditions have worsened, and what I've noticed is that it's highly dependent on the flow in Floyds Fork. So when the stream flow is higher because of recent rainfall, that's when the bacteria levels tend to be higher.
Back at the parklands, we were taking our final sample in July at Beckley Creek Park when we spoke to this father who was watching his daughter play in the creek. Remember, previous testing showed acceptable levels of fecal coliform, but we didn't know this sample would come back high.
The river is definitely an area of public concern, so I think with it being so close to an urban center, I think there's a lot of first-timers and amateurs out here that I think it would help to have some warnings along the river so that people know what they're getting into.